What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Killer Klowns from Outer Space video. Now, it's been a while since the trailer dropped. It's been a couple weeks. If you haven't already seen it, what, are you living under a rock? I mean, it's broke the internet for a little bit there.
Damn near.
Yeah, I mean, it's got millions and millions of views and people freaking out, which it's just so cool to see. As a old school horror fan, love all the 80s films, to have something as cultish as Killer Klowns be so big right now.
Definitely did not expect it.
Yeah, didn't expect it. It was weird to me going to Spirit Halloween. I said this in the trailer breakdown. It was weird to me going to Spirit Halloween and seeing so many Killer Klowns items. Now I'm going to go back and buy all of them.
Yeah, I'm going again this weekend. So I got money. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah, it's good. All the statues they have. They had a doormat there. The gun. They had the cotton candy gun. I was like, oh, this is so cool. But in this video, because after the trailer dropped, the website launched for killerclownsthegame.com, and it had so much information on it that I wanted to wait until we could do this type of content again to break down that website, because there was so much. So being able to go through it once and talk about it, that's how I wanted to do it. So that's what this video is going to be, going through all the details that we know so far in Killer Klowns from Outer Space, the game. And we have it listed out here, organized, how we're going to go through it, starting first with just a gameplay breakdown. How fundamentally, what does the gameplay look like? And it's a 3v7 experience, 3 Killer Klowns versus 7 humans, with some non-playable character elements in there. We'll talk about that some more later, but there are NPC humans that are also going to be on the map. And you will either be assigned to Clown, or you'll be assigned to Human Team randomly. However, you will get to choose the class you would like to play for each of those, and that can change based on respawning NPCs. Again, we'll come back to that. You can specify what character you want to play, but you can't just pick killer. You can't just pick human. So that it's Friday the 13th, basically, and a preference system.
Yeah, preference, which, interesting. But if that keeps lobbies full,
that's exactly. I think.
Listen,
I understand why you want to be able to just play Demon and Evil Dead if you want to, or just play Killer and Dead by Daylight if you want to, or vice versa. But this type of system, a preference-based system, is way better for queue times. Like, look at Dead by Daylight, still struggling on queue times. It's getting a little bit better with the new challenges and whatnot to encourage playing Demon or playing Killer. But Evil Dead, like, queue times are rough, man, because there's just not enough people playing Demon to make it work. So a preference-based system instead would fix that, and that's what's going to happen here, especially when you have 10 players have to fill a lobby.
Right. And again, with the multiple killer situation, if you really don't want to play killer and one killer leaves, I think the 2 killers still have a shot.
Yeah, I think it will be tough based on the way gameplay looks.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least it's not the end of the world. And I think you, as somebody who maybe doesn't want to play Clown, at least you have 2 buddies to help you out in a struggle bus.
Yeah, you're not alone.
Right.
When you get the character that you don't want to be, or the class you don't want to be.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's one of the big changes between Killer Klowns and some of these other asymmetrical multiplayer horror games we've seen, is the multiple killer element. 3 clowns versus 7 humans. It's different. It's fun. I like being able to work as a team, as a killer. We're seeing it in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Obviously, that's a 3v4 game, so that was already new to the table. It's one of the most unique things about that game being announced. By the way, I want to clarify, I don't think this takes away from TCM.
No.
Like, I understand that now we have 2 games with multiple killers in it, but TCM seems to be much more horror and stealth and suspense-driven, while this is like chaos, destroy all humans, like a little over the top and fun, as it should be. It's Killer Klowns. So... but yeah, let's talk about how you win, okay? This is the description right from their website. Clowns win by capturing most or all of the human citizens of Crescent Cove, while humans win by either deactivating the clown's big top spaceship, escaping the map before time runs out, or keeping the majority of the townsfolk alive for the entire round. So, not insane specifics there. There doesn't seem to be an element of killing clowns,
right? Which
I prefer. Although combat seems to be very heavy in this game, we only have so many items confirmed, which we'll dive into here shortly. But we see from screenshots in the game that humans are rocking shotguns, revolvers, knives, bats, whatever they can get their hands on. So and those things can be found across the map. But there's going to be a lot of dying on the human side. I don't think there's going to be any dying on the clown side of things.
Right.
But it is interesting that you can deactivate the clown spaceship, escape the map. Who knows what the specifics of that? How do you do it? It's easy to jump to a generator-based system. It's in multiple games like this now. Right. Somehow opening an escape gate like that via power or something like that. And then just keeping the majority of your NPCs alive.
I don't think that's going to happen very often.
I wonder how easy it is to actually go and kill the NPCs as a killer clown. Because there are instant kills in this game. There's got to be because of all the respawning.
Right.
Like Shorty has the ability to just knock your block off and punch your head off, which you should.
As you do.
As you do. So, yeah, I'm curious how hard is it to actually keep your NPCs alive and deter the clowns away from all of those humans surrounding the space?
Right. Like that's when you got to go attack, do some objectives to get them away from the NPCs. So you might have a chance to win if you're really not thinking you will.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be smart. And they are really encouraging teamwork. Like you could do shit on your own, just like all these games, but ultimately being successful is going to come down to how you work as a team on both sides, both as clown and both as human.
Yeah, so. It's games like this where you're going to meet people in the games and you're going to squad up with them every time. Yeah,
exactly. It's going to be fun. Make new friends.
Absolutely.
Just how having F-13 launch, you're finding new friends very quickly that you started playing with consistently. Now, let's talk about those NPCs for a second. NPCs and killer clowns, they are just random classes spread across the map because there are 5 different classes you could choose from, which we'll dive into for the humans. But those types of classes are spread across the map, and if you die, you can respawn as an NPC. So, yes, the numbers and locations per class, which means the strategy that the human pursues for stopping the clown invasion, will need to be different each match, just based on how many classes are available each game.
Right.
Which the variable system is really key. They're really emphasizing that, hey, the NPCs are going to be different every game. Where loot's placed, every game is going to be different. And just the way the map is laid out is on a variation system. So the map's going to look different every single time you jump into it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Absolutely, yeah. And definitely, no game is going to be the same with your amount of NPCs per class and all that, and who's playing the game. If you're all loaded and you want to be one class, well, those NPCs are going to run out quicker.
Right.
And now you have to adjust your strategy to other NPCs in the late game, which is probably not the best strategy.
Right. And that's a really cool part about the NPCs. If you pick a class that you go into before the game starts and you don't end up liking that class, well, when you die, you can respawn as an NPC, as a different class, as long as it's still available. So that's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah.
And it'll spice the game up as you go along.
Especially, early in the game's life cycle, when everyone's trying out these classes. Like, you could try out every class in the first game. You don't have to play a game, quit and leave, load back in with a new class. You can try every class in one game.
Yeah, and you'll figure out exactly what you want to be pretty quickly, I would say. And you could change your strategy mid-game, which I like. You think about F-13, for example. If you're Vanessa, you're locked into Vanessa. You are fast, but you're not smart. You can't really fix things that well. And you're like, well, this sucks. Because now I'm the last alive and I can't do anything except run.
All the parts are next to the car, but I got to get them in the car.
Right. So you can adjust and change your strategy based on how your team is playing and what they want to do if you're playing with randoms and if it's just not fitting your play style at the time.
That'd be really interesting. Like, you have your meeting, you got the whiteboard up, be like, all right, first half of the game, we're all going to go like this. We're going to have 1 of this, 2 of this, 3 of this. And then in the late game, once we get this, and this done, everyone's going this class to finish it up and win.
Right.
Type of thing. That's going to be really fun to figure out different metas and strats.
Yeah, it is. I think the versatility of this game and all the variants is what's going to keep it exciting. That is something that's missing in some of these asymmetrical multiplayer games, and you could just look for yourself. I'm not going to list any of them, but the ones that died off quickly and you forgot about, you're like, what happened to that game? That usually is a result of lack of replayability and a very linear experience. If you have a linear experience, you're doing the same exact thing every single time. You know exactly where to go in this order. it gets boring very quickly. These variables are really key to making the game fun and continue to stay fun. You got a bug on your mic. But yeah, we also have a quote here. You take that quote for it, dog.
Sure. This quote is from Julian, the UX lead from developer TerraVision Games. He says, quote, "Playing Klowns is pretty straightforward. They have their own tech, they are powerful, they can communicate easily and start conquering the map immediately. The humans, however, have a bit more acclimating to do at the top of the round. You know that you are playing with 6 other players, but you don't know where they are or what they look like. You're basically on your own. And the only way for you to know if you are talking to a player or an NPC is to actively try to interact with them. Remember that as a human, everyone is important and group survival is how you win as a team."
Yeah, so I picked this quote. There's a lot of quotes across the website. You can dig even deeper if you want to. But I picked this quote specifically because of that last piece of the quote that talks about NPCs and not knowing who's who or what's what. I don't think that'll be an issue if you're partied up with people, or partied up with friends and whatnot. But in a random game, if somebody's not using their mic the way they should be, etc., and you can't figure out who's who and how to work together, those NPCs could prove to be an issue rather than a benefit.
Right. How advanced are these NPCs? Are they going to just be, literally NPC walking? Or are they going to be running? Are they going to be running up to things, maybe even attempting to do objectives? Probably not successfully, but walking up to objectives.
I'm really curious how NPCs are going to interact with what you need to do as a human.
Right.
Are they going to ever help you? Or they're just kind of out there trying to escape, maybe hiding, relying on stealth, running around blindly?
AI it can be tough, especially with these independent developers and the tools they have access to.
Especially on the survivor side of things.
Yes.
Like NPCs in Evil Dead the game, for example, them being deadites, that makes sense to me because you're just like, go towards that person, beat them up.
Yes.
You can't really tell a human to go beat up the killer in the same scenario. You know what I'm saying? You can't just program it the same way. I think that's much more challenging as a developer, and I'm curious how those NPCs are going to work.
Definitely, yeah. This is definitely an ambitious project. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
It was ambitious from the second they chose the IP.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, they didn't know. They didn't know until the trailer dropped how people were going to respond. Is anyone going to give a shit about Killer Klowns? Anybody even know who Killer Klowns is anymore beyond that cult following?
Right. I mean, they had their idea. We're going to drop this trailer, and it might hit 1,000 views in 24 hours. And it's got over 1 million.
Yeah, and then it took over Gamescom. I mean, it was probably the biggest announcement from Gamescom, or one of the biggest announcements from Gamescom. So, ambitious from the very beginning, and then on top of gameplay itself. But all right, now let's dive into characters and classes. There's a lot to go through here. There's 5 for both humans and clowns, and each one has their own description and how they work. So bear with us. There's a lot to go through. So each class has 10 attributes that vary and make each one special. This is similar to F13 with like speed, repair abilities, intelligence, stealth, etc. Things like that. So it changes per class. Clowns also have exclusive attributes and skill sets, things like robustness and glucose and bloodthirst, unique things, but they mean the same thing really.
Right.
Their speed, their stealth, their strength, their damage, etc. So players can elect from one of 5 clown classes, each with unique special abilities such as a balloon animal dog you can conjure to sniff out opponents, or an area of effect LOL attack. We'll dive into specifics on that in a little bit. That heals your allies and debuffs your enemies. Let's go through the clown classes, starting first with the Scout, which is Jumbo from Killer Klowns. Jumbo is a clown of all trades. His Pentashot Blaster is a shotgun-like weapon that can hit up to 5 targets at once. He could chase you down and whack you with the clown mallet, or make you come to him with his finger lure. Interesting, Jumbo. Yeah, cool. I love the fact this is way deep cult following of Killer Klowns to know all the names and what they do. But like, they're very on point with each character, which is fun. Why don't you take Shorty here? Shorty is listed as the fighter here, but he's also listed as brawler elsewhere.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where they're actually going to be in the game.
Yeah, so Shorty is the Clown of Clash. Shorty can one-punch KO any opponent or take you out at a distance with his cotton candy C4 launcher. If you think you can outrun him, Shorty will run you down on his tricycle or pop out of a pizza box.
I'm telling you right now, Shorty's going to be my guy. Shorty's who I'm going for, all right? We'll talk a little bit about pros and cons of each of these in a second after we get through all of them, but Shorty is a little bit slower, but I don't know, man. Shorty's my favorite clown in the movie, and I'm all down with just throwing on some boxing gloves and knocking somebody's head off.
True. Yeah, and then you sit there and think, are these NPCs gonna just their body's gonna be on the ground? You're gonna pop heads off all day and just have a bunch of headless NPCs on the ground?
Yeah, we haven't gotten to really see much of the gore side of things, and there's no confirmation on how in depth those cinematic kills are.
Right.
If they're gonna be like F-13 style or Evil Dead style, or just kind of happen. I hope the gore is intense. Killer Klowns obviously didn't have quite the budget to do really intense practical effects. But still, I would want to see just a little bit gorier, a little very intense Killer Klowns. And I think the Chiodo brothers want to see the same thing. So have fun with it, man. You got the budget now, per se. You have more money now, and you're in a video game where you don't have to worry about making practical effects. So just go crazy.
Yeah.
All right, next class, the Tank, which is Chubby. This absolute unit of a clown uses the unstoppable rage to break through walls while his cotton candy ground punch levels nearby humans. Chubby loves to share his pies. Willing or not, one bite incapacitates his victims. Adding to, there's a trap element in this game. Lots of traps. They mentioned jump scares on the site. More jump scares, the more you level up as a clown, become more powerful.
Yeah.
I really hope that the trap system is very in-depth and actually like effective and scary as a human side of things.
Yeah, on the clown side, it's going to seem goofy, but then as a human, hopefully, yeah, you actually are scared.
Yeah, I think I was one of those for Evil Dead where I didn't mind the whole PNG jump scare thing. It doesn't really bother me, but I think there's some really effective jump scares that you can do that would actually be scary. So I kind of hope they run with that. Go ahead and take the next one, the Tracker.
Spiky, the Tracker. Between his popcorn bazooka tracker and his trusty balloon dog, there is no hiding from Spiky. He may not be the fastest, but if he needs to get somewhere quickly, he can summon his invisible car and speed off towards victims.
Ridiculous.
Just a scout. Your typical scout class, but
you can get in a car.
An invisible car.
Like, what? It's crazy. And again, you can only be 3 of these, Like you're kind of, it's a little bit different on the clown side of things. You can't just switch up based on NPCs and dying. So you kind of got to lock in. So picking who you want to be and how fast you want to move, or what do you want to prioritize on those side of things.
Right.
Be interesting. The last one, the Trapster, Rudy. While his breath and seek and destroy, Rudy plots and traps his baby clown Snake, Evil Jack in the Box, and Popcorn Mines, exactly what they sound like, and will snare any unsuspecting human who triggers them. So there you go, more emphasis on the trap side of things.
Yeah. Just sitting here thinking about different, loadouts you guys can run with the 3 clowns. Like, it's going to be really interesting. Like, Spiky has all this tracking abilities for other clowns to track down, a trapper if you want to go more stealthy, or you could just go in with Shorty and just start punching heads.
Yeah, and figuring out how they work together. Like, in my head, I hear Shorty and the ability to just one punch kill. Combine that with Trapper, combine that with Rudy, and you trap somebody, catch them in a bad situation, Shorty's right behind, and you're off.
Yeah.
And you just died. So, I don't know, there's probably the teamwork. I think teamwork even more so on the clown side of things is going to be really important.
Yes.
So, there's your classes. Let's dive into the human classes. First off, we have the biker class. You're the baddest of the bad, and everyone typically hates how brash you are. You're not the fastest runner, but your strength lets you carry more and hit harder than anyone else in town. If one of those clowns gets near you, well, you'll just have to knock their block off. Yeah, so the tough guy of the group, the biker. All right, take the cop.
Yeah, being a cop in a small town isn't the action-packed career you imagined. Years of yelling at skateboarders and writing parking tickets leaves you wanting for a piece of the action. But they'll see no one is going to make a clown out of you, especially these clowns.
Yeah, these clowns. I think it's interesting. There's a cop character. Of course, in Killer Klowns, like, that's a big piece of the story, having a cop involved with the whole time. But still, it's different to have a cop mixing in with all these other characters, especially because I really hope they have like in-game lines and kind of talk to each other. I think that's something missing from Evil Dead is characters talking to each other.
Yes.
And so since the next character we have here is the punk, I want to see the punk and the cop interact and like talk shit to each other while still working together.
Right. That like they have to have something like that with the NPCs, right? Like you're just not going to walk up to everyone and they're just not going to say anything until someone's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm not an NPC." The NPCs just walk right past you.
Yeah, they got to have some sort of voice lines or
Yeah, I would think.
I would think, right. Like I said, next, the punk. Armed with tattoos, cheap beer, and a slightly above average knowledge of the political machine, you're a force to be slightly concerned about. Your fighting ability is only exceeded by your running ability, probably from years of evading Officer Hardass in your younger days. So exactly the point I'm making. Like the punk character should not exactly like the cop character, but they have to work together.
Right.
So
yeah, voice lines there would definitely be something little that just adds a lot.
yeah. So all right, next.
Next, we have the redneck. Ever since Uncle Jim Bob told you about being abducted in '84, you vowed never to let it happen to another soul. Something about seeing him on an inflatable donut makes you weep. Now it's time to make good on that promise. Grab your trusty shotgun and aim for those clowns' red nose.
So the redneck is good with the shotgun. Got it. Which
Figured.
yeah, makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, next character and last character, the teen class. Kids these days, you can't throw or take a punch. You have too much energy and are always sneaking around. But while you may be everything the older generation hates, you got exactly what it takes to keep Crescent Cove safe from the clown invasion.
It's just so funny reading all of these. Like you just smile while you're reading it because it is just funny.
Yeah, 80s tropes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly what Killer Klowns should be. And you have to give a lot of credit to TerraVision and Good Shepherd for just being willing to focus that much on the original movie and show that much attention to detail.
Yeah.
That's what makes games like this work. That's why Friday the 13th works so well. The attention to detail while still making a fun gameplay experience. And so far, I mean, all thumbs up over here. It all is working for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, but now let's go into a little bit more specifics on like actual gameplay for these characters. I'll jump through them quickly. Each class obviously has things they're good and bad at. Let's go through the humans first. Bikers. Strong, prepared to fight. Loud, but slow. Okay. The cop. Perceptive, good with guns. Unlucky, low stamina. Punks. High stamina, good against obstacles. Slow to recover. Rednecks. Good at fixing stuff. Biggest inventory size. Poor observation skills. I wonder what that means. Observation skills.
Yeah.
Teenagers. Nimble. Stealthy. Low health. Small inventory size. And then on the clown side of things, the brawler, which would be the fighter, shorty, high strength, low mobility, ranger, stealthy, great utility, low stamina, low mobility, tank, very strong, melee and ranged, can break through walls, slow recovery, tracker, nimble, intelligent, not as strong as other clowns, and trapper, plants traps, can hide in those traps, not very stealthy. The one that stood out to me there is trapper. Hiding in traps. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I mean, what the description we got, yeah, it just is. He has an evil Jack in the Box as his baby clown snake.
Yeah, so you can just jump in when he wants.
I guess so.
Just jump
That's
in.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm all for it. That's cool. Yeah, I think this isn't exactly like a new concept.
No.
Obviously, you have to have variations between each of the classes, but I like the way this is laid out. And you have to pick and choose who you really want to be.
Yeah.
It is interesting, though, there's only, at this time, they already confirmed there's going to be like a lot of stuff post-launch, etc. But at this time, there's only 5 human classes, although there's 7 human players.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be overlap quite a bit in classes. I wonder how much of a difference that's going to make.
Yeah.
Who gets to have multiple of what? All the rednecks. We need all the rednecks to fix stuff.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
I don't know. It's interesting. Curious how it's going to play
Yeah.
out. Because it's exact opposite of clowns. Like I was saying, there's 5 classes here, but you only get to pick 3.
Right.
So, all right, let's move on. Let's talk about some clown perks. There's only one at this time that has really been broken down and details have been given, and that is laughing out loud, or LOL. Of course. So the LOL perk for clowns, it's a clown laugh that terrorizes victims while healing the clown as well. This laugh isn't the same for all clown classes. Its strength changes and its distance changes, and exactly what it does changes based on what class you are playing. but it can parry human attacks as it makes the clown invulnerable for a short time. And it is considered a ranged attack as well, as it'll affect all players inside of a circle range, and that changes based on the class you are. Humans are affected more strongly by the closer they are to the laughter, and will be impacted by effects specific to that LOL. So a pretty cool effect, but there are some cons to it. The LOLs, they're more than just an area of effect. They also work as well as distress signal for other clowns. So if a clown is inside of the range, they will be alerted, and they will also receive bonuses too. So they get a health boost or a stamina boost. It just depends on what clown is inside of that area. And then the downfall of it is that you can't move while doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to use your area of effect, your LOL, and it misses somebody or doesn't slow them down enough, it could give them a chance to get away.
That's just so interesting. That is kind of scary. You know, you're human. You know, you come face to face with a clown. You're like, oh, I got a chance to stun him. And he just starts laughing. Yeah. And there's nothing you can do. You are caught in his circle.
Yeah. I kind of hope those laughs are terrifying.
I hope so.
Hope they really got some talented VO there and really hit you with some scary-ass clown laughs.
I hope so.
Yeah, for real. All right, let's move on to in-game communication. Interesting to me, they actually encourage party chat.
Yeah.
And especially based on when we explain how in-game chat works, I really am shocked they're like, yeah, use party chat. Because I think it changes the gameplay experience like a lot.
Yes.
So, but yeah, they encourage party chat. But when that's not possible, if you're playing with randos, they have on-match chat, which is just in-game chat. It's a proximity-based system where other players who, from either team, by the way, they can hear, or if they are near you, they can hear you, okay? So from a text side, this means that humans' voice volumes will be heard by other players or clowns as inversely proportional to the distance between you and the listener, just like you're really there. F13 did the same thing. Kinda. I mean, they have proximity-based chat. The voices get quieter as you move away, etc. This is a little bit different, though, and we'll talk about that in a second. So now you can use this fact to discover if you are moving away or close to your teammates or targets. We talked about it earlier with NPCs, not knowing if they're real people or not.
Right.
In my head, I feel like it'll be obvious, but I don't know. If you can't tell, you can tell based on their voice and if you're getting closer or not.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is where it's interesting, okay? Humans can't understand Clownish, the language that the clowns are speaking to each other. But the clowns can understand the humans, no problem. Okay, that makes sense. Now, depending on your attribute based on what clown you are, this will determine how far you could hear the chatting going on. Clowns also have a size-changing visual cue that they can hone in on, showing them that a human is talking. Something like a sense ability, where you're seeing like a blip.
In a sea of NPCs, you'll be able to see that little blip.
Yeah, exactly. And that'll tighten down as you get closer to whoever that is. You gotta be I like that you have to be careful about talking as humans. And I wonder, this might be a little bit more challenging, but if I have a louder voice as a player, is my blip bigger? That seems a little complicated. But wouldn't that be interesting if like we in game had to whisper?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be so much more like, it'd be immersive. If I have to like be careful about what I say and how I say it and how loud I am, you're constantly thinking about it and you're there, like you're immersed in the game. I think that'd be really fun. So I don't know if that's possible. Write that down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the next part is just wild. If the clown wishes to deceive or taunt a victim, they can turn off the language distortion by holding a button, and the human player will be able to understand them just like a human. So if you're a human and you're walking around and you're talking and all of a sudden you hear this distorted voice, you're like, oh shit, the clown's around.
Right.
But if you're walking in, the clown's not talking, and they hear you talking, they can turn off that distortion and talk to you like a human.
Yeah, I need a little bit of clarity on this ability.
Yeah, that is just something so wild.
Yeah, when I read this the first time, and maybe this is what it is, and maybe they've explained this on Twitter already and I haven't seen it. Their Twitter's so active, though, it's a lot to kind of dig through. A lot of cannon button. You see all the pictures they posted that's just them hitting the cannon button?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this has been explained in depth, but when I first read that, I assumed it was like you're you have a select option of voice lines, and you are picking that voice line to be said, and you could choose whether or not it's being said as a clown to a clown, or if everybody can hear it and understand it. But if you can literally like, take your microphone and you're talking in game, no problem, and you press and if you're not pressing the button, it jangles up all the audio and you don't hear the voice norm. That's like kind of advanced, I would think.
Yeah, turn on the Animal Crossing filter.
But that's kind of what it sounds like. That's kind of what clowns sound like.
I mean, yeah, as you keep reading, it's like clowns can also talk to each other clearly, no matter the distance, and they encourage party chat. Does that make it seem like, you'll be able to talk whoever you want, even in game?
Right.
It's not going to be like that emote based or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, since clowns can hear you, there's no proximity base for clown to clown. I wonder if that's how it works. Like straight up, you press a button and all of a sudden your voice chat is no longer weird to somebody else. But if you're still talking without pressing the button, it just sounds all jumbled up.
Yeah. That'd be the first thing we jump into.
Yeah, I need to test that like right now. I want to know how that works because that's super interesting to me. That's a fun new thing.
Yes.
I was never really a fan of Jason being able to talk to counselors. I know it led to some funny ass moments in the game.
Yeah.
I was never really a fan of that in F13 where Jason could kind of sit there and troll you or whatnot. It makes more sense in Clowns, but I love the fact that you have the option where they just can't understand you at all.
Yeah.
That's fun. We're having fun.
Yeah, that is just wild. There's nothing else to say. Till we know more, that's just a wild concept.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to weapons and items. There's only so many that have been confirmed or at least given details on, but in their description for weapons and items, they do say bats, shotguns, invisible cars, hamburgers, big goofy hammers. You're going to need every tool available to come out on top. And they do say earthly weapons and items are hidden across the map. And we have the screenshots, already kind of talked about it earlier, but we see humans using revolvers and shotguns and knives and other things like that. So obviously a handful of items and combat is going to happen in this game.
Yeah.
But they also talked about stamina and health. Okay, so you can eat food. If you want to recover your stamina and health, you eat some food. I wonder if you can trap food.
Well, that's kind of what I got from the which part was it? Because it said something about the eating food and the tank, Chubby. He loves to share his pies, willing or not. One bite incapacitates its victim. So there'll be food all over. One of them might be trapped by either Chubby or by
Rudy. So Rudy could, I wonder how that works. And he also trapped food.
And I mean, also the one popping out of pies.
Yeah, or pizza, Shorty and pizza.
Yeah, pizzas. Yeah. So you can lay down. There'll probably be pizza boxes laying around everywhere. You don't know if you open if there's going to be a clown in there or not.
Yeah, I wonder if there's going to be insta kills based on a clown being inside of a trap, because that'd be fun. I always said that was something that should be in an F13 situation or something like that, where if you actively go out of your way and sit yourself in a trap and you're sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting, it's like the equivalent of stalk. Like you get them, and they're a goner. You do some really fun cinematic kills that way.
That was something that that last year, the Nightmare had a lot of promise with.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you have one. There's a lot of problems with the game, but basically, you could see where he was hiding in every game, no matter what. Mm. But he could you could be sitting in a pizza box for like 5 minutes because someone's around and just come in. That's so cool.
Yeah, I hope it works that way.
Yes.
I hope we see some like cool cinematic kills, because you're right. I forgot about that last year, and the trap cinematic kills were really cool. So
and there was nothing you could do to stop it if you walked in the area.
You really just had to constantly be aware that there could be a trap there and circle around it. So yeah, that's cool. I hope we see something like that.
Yeah.
But, all right, so for clown weapons, only one of them has been explained in detail, and we talked about a little bit about it earlier. The popcorn bazooka. It doesn't hurt much, but Spiky will be able to track you down from the sweet, buttery goodness now emanating from you. So you get shoot with the popcorn bazooka, you'll be giving off a scent. That makes you trackable. So that's one of the weapons for the clowns. All of them have their own unique cotton candy ray gun.
Yes.
which all of them right now are being explained as the clown version of Old Reliable. Once you're on the wrong end of this toy, you'll be clown food for sure. So, yeah, all of them have their own unique ray gun. The ones we are seeing right now that we've been shown are Scouts, Trackers, Fighters, and Trappers Cotton Candy ray gun. But, yeah, I mean, so you're going to be putting a cotton candy cocoon, so we see clowns in the trailer holding like the cocoons and the spaceship and whatnot. I really want to know. So I guess if you kill an NPC, maybe an element of it is you have to take their body in a cocoon to the ship. There's probably an element of collecting bodies.
Probably.
I don't know what happens if you don't. Maybe you don't level up. There's a leveling up system to clowns. So if you don't take the body to the spaceship, you don't get the leveling up bonus or something like that.
Or it's just extra.
Yeah, it's extra
XP
points,
or whatever. Yeah, that'd be something to be really interesting to know.
Yeah, which I guess we're going to find all this out pretty soon, as the beta is this fall. We'll talk about that more in a second.
Yes.
But before then, maps. Right now, there's only one map confirmed. It's the obvious one. It's Crescent Cove, right from the movie. They don't give us a ton of details in the map. We obviously see a little bit from the screenshots and whatnot, but we do know there's arcades, carnivals, biker bars, and beaches. That's fun.
We're having fun.
We're having fun. And that setting alone is already nostalgic.
Yes.
You know, being in an arcade in a game is going to be cool. Then I'm going to geek out so bad the first time I step inside of the clown spaceship. And if they really capture the way it is in the movie, where you're like going up weird ass elevators and there's just kind of like random traps in places and going through a million different doors to go to a single room, that's going to be fun. And I wonder if like the boss clown is going to be there. And God, I just have so many questions.
So many questions.
So many questions. I know they gave us a shit ton of information all at once, but there's still so many things I want to see and learn about, which is the fun part about this, which is why we're going to keep covering it in the future. So subscribe. All right. Okay, so the fun part about maps, okay, we already talked about it, but locations and objectives are randomly generated for each match, keeping each session new and interesting for players. If that's done properly, it's going to be very effective, and it will certainly add to replayability.
Yes.
I can't emphasize that enough. That is like the key to making games last a while. Yes, we want to see more content and things like that, but replayability, unique gameplay experience, every single match is what makes these things work.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then a little info about post-launch. They say more challenges, more maps, more characters, more ways to play. We have some very exciting things planned for post-launch, so stay tuned. Post-launch. I'm glad they already have like DLC. Like, yep, we are more maps, more characters. I like more ways to play is fun.
They're all in.
Game modes. Yeah.
They're all in. I mean, in every way. I mean, like you said, looking at their Twitter, it is memes. It is in character responses. Mm-hmm. And I think it's funny because even on the website, like they say stuff. Like, oh yeah, there's some stuff that we're going to talk about. Like, I wonder if the patch notes, because patch notes can be either really, detailed and good or be really vague.
Yeah.
They could just be like, yeah, we fixed some stuff involving this.
Yeah. I hope they don't do that though. Not too far anyway.
Right.
We
fixed some stuff.
Remember the F-13 ones? They were kind of a little cringe at one point.
Yes, I do.
You're like, oh, dude, just give me the answer. What did that fix?
Fix some stuff involving and then go into detail.
Right. You could be, yeah.
But they are all in playing. I mean, they changed their Twitter profile to some drawing.
Yeah, the little like Chad, the Giga Chad version of the
Chad
clown.
Yeah. Like, it can be a little annoying because my Twitter notifications, blowing up.
Yeah.
But
we got that bitch to all.
But they are having fun. They're having fun.
Oh yeah, they're having a good time.
Yes.
And they should. That's what the movie is.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
This is the IP to do it for
exactly.
sure. And I think what's going to make this work even more so is the Chiodo brothers being so involved. In fact, there's an interview up from the Chiodo brothers on the website. I don't think it really gave us a ton of information, aside from the fact that like the Chiodo brothers are all in.
Yes.
Like they're supporting, they're putting in input, and I love that because they've been very tight to Killer Klowns for all these years.
Yeah.
It's been almost 35 years, coming up on 35 years. So yeah, it's cool to see. It's cool to see them involved. I would like to see Kim Henkel do something very similar to what the Chiodo brothers did for TCM. I think their involvement is very satisfying to see from a horror fan's perspective.
Yeah, hearing it directly from them.
Yeah. I think that helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's satisfying. Transparent. Okay, let's talk about the beta. All right, so the beta it's a PC only beta. Makes sense. I don't think we'd expect anything else from a smaller game like this. PC only beta. It's happening this fall at some point. No specifics on the month or how tight that window really is. It's either, I'm pretty sure they're going for fall, but it could end up sneaking into winter. But yeah, you can sign up right now on their website. I'll leave a link in the description below to sign up for the beta. It's a closed beta, so it will be limited to a certain amount of players. And beta access can happen through the Discord. I don't know how they're going to do that, whether it's like sending out codes through the Discord.
They have a lot of interesting bots in their Discord server. So maybe they have some sort of bot that can help distribute codes through Discord personally. I'm not sure.
I pray we get in that thing. Who do I get in touch with at TerraVision to ensure that I'm in on that?
Seriously, like that beta is going to be so fun to see.
Yeah, and like the Discord already has like 32,000 members, so it does scare me a little bit.
A lot
that
of members.
that I might miss out. I don't want to miss out. Get me in there. And speaking of the Discord, if you join the Discord, you get an in-game exclusive reward.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Whether it's a cosmetic, bonus points, something like that. No specifics on that, but it's also everybody.
Again, maybe
everybody.
Maybe they have a bot that literally says, at this point, if you are in this Discord server, boom, you get a private message with a code that's generated. If you join after, you're not getting it. Or maybe it's always.
Right, yeah.
Which then, people would just join the Discord and leave. So you need to keep people in there. Retention. So, but that is really interesting. Yeah, given they're committing to the Discord too.
Oh, they are certainly committing to the Discord. They're promoting the hell out of it and doing an in-game exclusive via Discord. That's what happens. But 32,000 members in like 2 weeks is bonkers.
Yeah,
so,
it's a lot.
Yeah, they're doing things okay over there. They're doing all right. And I don't know if I said this at the beginning, but you kind of did. This is probably the first time I've been surprised, like truly surprised by an announcement in several years.
Mm-hmm.
Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I surprised. Like, yeah, like you don't know, but you had a good guess.
Yes.
Just based on clues. Because we haven't seen TerraVision really inside of this horror asymmetrical space, we weren't exactly following them for hints and whatnot. There was a content creator, I think, that kind of like leaked this shit early, but I didn't see it. So I did not see anything coming.
No.
Was shocked by the announcement. Killer Klowns would have been my last guess for an IP-based horror game.
Right.
But I'm all for it.
It's just so cult. It's so niche.
Yeah, and it's a risk. Like you're taking a risk buying into an IP like this that is smaller. But I mean, it worked and it blew up. Yeah, they're doing just fine. And as long as they can deliver on the gameplay side of things, it will stick around and a whole new generation being introduced to Killer Klowns from outer space.
Right. They have their vision and they're sticking to it. They're going all in. They are memeing. They are giving all this information. They love what they're doing. They're not trying to be anything else.
Yeah. And I think they're very smart on the marketing side of things because it looks like we're looking at a February, March release, early 2023.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So an announcement as late as August, and then to have so much information already ready to go, a website that is very well done by Psychoactive Studios, and a lot of information already there, extremely active on social media, a trailer that popped with Gamescom has pulled in millions of views, and then the game comes out like 6 months later. That's how it's done. That's how you make one of these smaller games work like that.
I mean, yes, we're looking for more info, but it's not because we are lacking.
Yeah, it's just because we're nerds.
Yeah.
we're just in. We're all in.
Yeah, having your announcement in August and then moving into the fall, yeah, maybe it's a little dry, if you will, but again, with keeping up with the Twitter and the memes and all that stuff, if we don't get anything till October,
right.
That was only a month without content, without information.
Yeah, it helps. It's really smart as well to have an announcement that comes alongside a beta. Yeah. I think they're like, okay, hey, this game you never heard of? Yeah, it's already got a beta. We're about to launch in a couple months, so sign up. Like, oh, shit, okay.
Yeah. they're killing the game right now.
Yeah, good for them. Good for them.
Definitely excited.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's it so far for Killer Klowns from Outer Space. A full overview of everything they've given us so far, but as more updates come out, we will continue to cover it. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, and that's really it. Leave a comment below letting us know who you want to play on both the human side of things and the Killer Clown side of things. You got anything else, partner?
No. Let's ride.
All right, man. With that, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.